Good evening, here are tonight's top stories. Police are investigating the suspected drowning of salesman Paul Bahadur in Orala village. A fire in Bartica has claimed the life of 94-year-old Albert Hopkinson. A mother of two advocates for her husband's innocence in an alleged break-and-enter case. Vice President Jagdeo stresses the importance of compliance with the Procurement Act for fair play. A man has been sentenced to 2 years for larceny despite requesting a 2-week sentence. A taxi driver charged with larceny has been remanded to prison, and a Berbice man received an 18-month sentence for damaging a BMW and was also charged with larceny. The family of a Hillfoot man killed in a hit-and-run accident is seeking justice and pleading for eyewitnesses to come forward. Additionally, a security officer has been charged and remanded for break-and-enter and larceny. Stay tuned for the details of these stories. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to our channel for more news.
Security officer charged and remanded for break-and-enter and larceny. 22-year-old Colin Henry, also known as Fat Boy, a security officer from Adventure, Essequibo Coast, Region 2, was charged and remanded to prison on Wednesday for the offense of a break-and-enter and larceny. Henry is accused of committing the offense on Sunday, targeting Marva Chappelle, a 49-year-old domestic worker of Onderneming Sandpit, Essequibo Coast. He appeared before Magistrate Tamika Clark at the Anna Regina Magistrates Court, where the charge was read to him. Henry pleaded not guilty but was remanded to prison until August 15, 2024. The matter has been transferred to the Suddy Magistrates Court. Man sentenced to 2 years for larceny despite requesting 2 weeks. A man appearing before Magistrate Faith McGusty at the Georgetown Magistrates Court No. 1 on Wednesday received a surprising sentence after requesting a short imprisonment period for a larceny charge. Anthony Bartholomew, who faced allegations of larceny, was handed a 2-year sentence instead of the 2 weeks he had requested. Bartholomew was accused of stealing a gold chain valued at $70,000 and 2 gold rings valued at $125,000 from Gracelyn Edmondson. The incident occurred on July 22, 2024, when Edmondson was leaving her residence with the mentioned items, heading to Georgetown to conduct business. While on Hadfield Street in Georgetown, Bartholomew approached Edmondson, snatched the chain from her neck, and forcibly took the rings from her hand. The accused was arrested the following day, and the stolen chain was recovered and lodged with the police. In court, Bartholomew pleaded guilty with an explanation, stating that he only wanted a little time to rest up. He also claimed, "I didn't really go to snatch the lady's chain." Despite his plea for leniency, Magistrate McGusty sentenced Bartholomew to 2 years in prison for the offense, underscoring the severity of his actions and the impact on the victim. Bartica fire claims life of 94-year-old Albert Hopkinson. A mid-afternoon fire on Wednesday in Bartica claimed the life of 94-year-old Albert Hopkinson, known as a Major. Despite being rescued from the inferno and rushed to the Bartica Regional Hospital, Hopkinson succumbed to the burns he sustained while receiving treatment. The blaze rendered Hopkinson and his daughter, Dawn Hopkinson, homeless within minutes as their house at 3rd Avenue, Bartica, became engulfed in flames around 1300 hours. The fire is suspected to have started in one of the rooms in the upper flat of the house. Neighbors rushed to the scene after seeing smoke emanating from a room window. At the time, Albert Hopkinson was upstairs in his bedroom while his daughter was reportedly cooking downstairs. When the fire service arrived, the wooden structure was already fully ablaze, with thick black smoke billowing into the sky. Despite efforts from onlookers and neighbors, the fire rapidly spread and could not be immediately contained. In an act of bravery, Sinead Holder, a Bartica resident, along with 2 others, entered the burning building and successfully rescued Albert Hopkinson, who suffered severe 3rd-degree burns. Meanwhile, his daughter courageously attempted to salvage their belongings from the inferno, resulting in significant 2nd-degree burns for herself. Emergency responders quickly transported both Albert and Dawn Hopkinson to the Bartica Regional Hospital, where they received medical treatment. Unfortunately, Albert Hopkinson later passed away due to the severity of his injuries. Police investigate suspected drowning of salesman Paul Bahadur in Orala village. Police are investigating the suspected drowning of 47-year-old Paul Bahadur, a salesman from Kanj, Berbice, which occurred on July 23, 2024, at Orala Village, Quarantine River. Initial investigations reveal that Bahadur, a resident of East Kanj, Berbice, frequently traveled to Orala to sell pots and other kitchen utensils. On Saturday, July 21, 2024, at around 11 o'clock HRS, Bahadur, along with three other salesmen, Michael Balgobin, age 34, Brian Chand, age 18, and Ricky J. Mangle, age 19, traveled to Orala to sell their wares. On the morning of Tuesday, July 23, 2024, at approximately 7:30 HRS, the group went to the Orala boat stelling to load their utensils onto a passenger boat before heading to the nearby village of Siparuta. According to Michael Balgobin, Bahadur was intoxicated after consuming alcoholic beverages. As Bahadur attempted to jump onto the boat, he slipped and fell into the water. The group heard a loud splash and, upon checking, realized Bahadur was missing. The boat's captain, Neil Jatu, was alerted, and a search party was quickly formed. At around 13:30 HRS, the search party discovered the body of Paul Bahadur. No foul play is suspected at this time. A post-mortem examination is scheduled to determine the exact cause of death. Investigations are ongoing. Taxi driver charged with larceny, remanded to prison. A 53-year-old taxi driver from South Ruimveldt Gardens Gregory House, also known as a Bumpy Face, appeared at the Georgetown Magistrates Court on Wednesday facing larceny charges. House is accused of stealing 2 gold chains from Susie Lee on Saturday, July 20, 2024. The incident occurred on Water Street, Georgetown, where House allegedly snatched a gold and diamond chain valued at $175,000 and a double heart gold chain worth $75,000 from Lee, totaling $250,000 in stolen items. According to the case details, Lee was walking along Water Street near Stabroek Market with her chains visible around her neck when House reportedly approached her from behind and swiftly snatched the chains. The incident was captured on a nearby CCTV camera. The following day, July 21, 2024, Lee spotted House at La Penitence Market, about 30 feet from Ruimveldt Police Station, inside the rear of a police vehicle. Recognizing him as the individual who had stolen her chains, Lee alerted the police, who then detained House and formally charged him with larceny. During the court proceedings, House pleaded not guilty to the charge. It was revealed that House had prior similar offenses and had been released from prison in April. Due to the seriousness and frequency of the offense, the prosecution objected to bail. Consequently, Magistrate Faith McGusty denied bail, and House was remanded to prison until his next court appearance on August 7, 2024. Family of Hillfoot man killed in hit-and-run accident seeks justice, pleads for eyewitnesses to come forward. Kaider News, the family of Rajendra Chris Stechand, a 34-year-old man from Hillfoot, Soesdijk, East Bank Demerara, who was killed in a hit-and-run accident last Saturday, is pleading for eyewitnesses to come forward to help serve justice for their loved one's death. According to an alleged eyewitness account relayed by the family, Stechand was traveling west along the East Bank Public Road near the Soesdijk/Linden Highway Junction, when a dark gray cruiser attempted to overtake his motorcycle. The vehicle encountered oncoming traffic during this maneuver, swerving into Stechand's motorcycle and causing him to lose control. Stechand collided with the guardrail around a coker, was flung off the motorcycle, and suffered fatal head injuries from contact with long spikes on the coker apparatus. The driver of the dark gray cruiser briefly stopped before fleeing the scene towards Georgetown. Unfortunately, despite the presence of eyewitnesses, none are willing to reveal their identities or communicate with law enforcement. There were eyewitnesses, but nobody wants to step forward because we went to the spot and we spoke to some people, but nobody wants to say anything, said Kimi Kalacharan, Stechand's wife. Efforts to contact the Matawini traffic outpost and the Taimari police station for comments on the investigation status were unsuccessful. Stechand, a carpenter, leaves behind his wife and children, whom he supported through his employment. His relatives are appealing for any assistance possible and for any witnesses to come forward. One family member explained, 2 things in one we come here for, seek any assistance for, Stechand's wife, and she 3 children them and also to see if anybody from the public that saw anything could come forward. Berbice man sentenced to 18 months for damaging BMW and charged with larceny. A 26-year-old man from Berbice, Mahendra Deepchand, was sentenced to 18 months in prison on Wednesday for damaging the windscreen and windows of a BMW car. The incident took place on Saturday, July 20, 2024, at New Haven, Bel Air, Georgetown. Deepchand appeared before Magistrate Faith McGusty at the Georgetown Magistrates Court No. 1 to answer to the charges. He was accused of unlawfully and maliciously damaging a BMW vehicle owned by Ian Jagan, which included a windscreen valued at $400,000 and a window valued at $150,000. According to Jagan, he had parked his vehicle, registered under PRR 5969, within his premises and left it unattended. Around 20:30 HRS that evening, Jagan heard a loud knocking sound from outside and saw Deepchand inside the car hitting the windscreen with a glass bottle, shattering it. Deepchand then proceeded to smash one of the car's windows. Jagan contacted the police, who arrived and arrested Deepchand as he attempted to escape. Deepchand was informed of the allegations, cautioned, and taken into custody. Further investigations were conducted, leading to the charges. Additionally, Deepchand faced a charge of simple larceny, alleging that he stole $15,000 in cash from Jagan. During the court proceedings, Deepchand pleaded guilty to both charges. He expressed willingness to pay for the vehicle damage, stating that his family overseas would assist him. However, he revealed that he had no fixed place of abode, often staying in hotels and washing cars for a living. For the simple larceny charge, Deepchand was fined $20,000, with a stipulation that failure to pay would result in an additional 2-month prison sentence. For the malicious damage to property, he was sentenced to 18 months in prison. Mother of 2 advocates for husband's innocence in alleged break-and-enter case. Shivani Prasad, a mother of 2 from Adventure, Region 2, is fervently advocating for her husband, Colin Henry, who she claims was wrongfully accused of break-and-enter and robbery. Henry was arrested on July 22 and has since been charged and remanded to prison, with the case set for an adjourned hearing on August 15 at the Sudhi Magistrates Court. Speaking to the newsroom on Thursday, Prasad recounted the unsettling events of the early hours of July 22. She described how 4 police officers reportedly entered their home, causing significant damage to their television, DVD set, and carpets. Prasad received an alarming call from her husband, who informed her of the police's arrival. When she arrived home, she found her children in distress, hiding in a back bedroom. They told her that an officer had pointed a gun at them while demanding to know the location of a motorbike. The police had already arrested Henry and taken him to the station, claiming his alleged involvement in a break-and-enter and robbery that occurred on July 21, 2024, at the residence of Marva Chappelle, a 49-year-old domestic worker from Onderneming Sandpit, Essequibo Coast. Henry appeared in court on July 24, 2024, where he pleaded not guilty to the charges. Despite his plea, bail was denied, and he remains in custody. Prasad is adamant about her husband's innocence. She contends that CCTV footage does not match Henry's appearance, noting that the individual in the footage lacks the distinctive tattoos present on Henry's hands. She further argues that Henry's recent struggles, including the loss of a newly acquired security job due to these allegations and societal stigma following his prior incarceration, underscore the importance of a thorough and fair examination of the case by the police. Prasad is calling on authorities to reopen even a previous investigation, claiming to have evidence such as eyewitness testimonies and text messages that she believes prove Henry's innocence. Her plea for justice is driven by her fear that a repeat of his wrongful imprisonment would have devastating consequences for their family. Vice President Jagdeo emphasizes compliance with Procurement Act to ensure fair play. Vice President Dr. Bharat Jagdeo reiterated on Thursday his call for public officials to comply fully with the country's Procurement Act and to avoid undermining the government's goal of ensuring a level playing field. Speaking to the media in his capacity as General Secretary of the governing party, Jagdeo stressed the importance of these warnings being repeated to public officials. Just this past Tuesday, Jagdeo addressed a gathering in Region 6, East Berbice, Quarantine, where he emphasized the government's commitment to cracking down on those who use their positions to influence contracts for their families and friends. He urged individuals in positions of influence to declare any conflicts of interest and to refrain from participating in the bidding process if their close friends or relatives are involved in the bidding companies. This will not be tolerated, Jagdeo stated, underscoring the importance of full compliance with procurement laws. Jagdeo noted that some individuals had been directly involved in the procurement process while bidding companies were headed by their close friends and relatives. This, he said, has raised ire among citizens who often feel that these associations unfairly sway the award of contracts in a particular direction. Jagdeo has taken this message to outreaches in several regions, assuring that the government will follow up with technical teams to ensure adherence to legal procedures. This initiative will be supported by training for public officers involved in procurement at both regional and national levels. There should be no excuse for ignorance of the procurement laws of the country, Jagdeo asserted. He reiterated similar messages delivered in Essequibo, emphasizing the government's goal to keep procurement opportunities within regions to build capacity among regional contractors, as has been done across Guyana. Jagdeo also highlighted that contractors who face delays or deliver substandard work could be subject to liquidated damages and, in some cases, blacklisting. The Vice President's renewed call aims to reinforce the government's stance on maintaining transparency and fairness in the procurement process, ensuring that all contractors have an equal opportunity to compete for contracts and contribute to the nation's development.